Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to this podcast episode where I want to share with you, just trying to get closer to the sea. I don't know if you hear it or not. I wanted to share with you a very, very raw episode today because I believe that even though we really do know each other on a soul level, there's a lot of projection that as humans we have been conditioned to do. It has become almost like a habit, a toxic habit, to project onto other people, especially when we're feeling in this kind of like victim mentality where we think the world doesn't get us, and like there's almost like this sense of who am I to preach about certain things when your situation might be really tough. And just want to share because I do believe that so many of us have been deceived. So many of us have been just given false promises, and I believe it's just important to reassess that, because our trust in humans, our trust in others, and even our trust in ourselves has been weakened. But what I'm here to create, and what I am committed to create, is a community where, number one, that has always been my goal, my dream, to create a community where we can deeply, and I really mean it, where we can deeply heal our wounds of belonging, and really truly everything that we have been experiencing as part of this human karmic cycle. And because, and as you're going to understand a little bit more deeply why I'm saying this, I truly believe that every single one of you listening right now already has all the keys and everything you need deeply encoded in your soul, your path, your purpose, all the answers, connection to source, unlimited support from your guides. And this is how life is supposed to be, right? We're not supposed to just walk around and being always in this uncertainty, or just kind of always looping in trauma and just going from obstacle to obstacle. And life is only this way because of all the trauma that we have experienced and that has been imprinted in our system. So I wanna share that self-doubt is a condition, is a programming that has been installed in you. It's not a normal human condition, but it's something that maybe you have seen it in your family, maybe at school, you have been faced with these kind of feedbacks where you just stopped relying on your intuition and your own knowledge because it was not the right way, right? You have to follow the rules, you have to follow the protocol. Oh, you have ADHD or whatever they label it as, or just something about you wasn't right. And especially as souls that it is just cannot be boxed in, we have been at the receiving end of of many of these kind of feedbacks. So, well, this is not really the conversation that I wanted to open today, but the fact that every single one of the souls that I have called in and have long connected, have been connected with on a soul level from, I believe, 5 to 7 years ago, I have already connected on a soul level with this community and with the vision of this new earth community that we're building. And the path that I took from that point forward was really becoming the kind of new earth guide and the kind of new earth leader, and to pave my own path to my purpose, to my authenticity, and really just back to my soul, back to myself. So it was a major cycle of healing that gave me all the tools and all the resources that I need to create it. So the number one thing that I want to share with you today is the fact that however your life may look like at this moment, which I know because we're still going through the shadow period, as I keep sharing, spring, and especially the equinox, I believe it's on the 23rd or 21st, it's really going to bring in a new wave of energy. And also there's going to be a climax on the 8th of April, I believe, with a major earth split. But leading up to that point, things are accelerating, and we are actually a little bit, I call it in the Ascension washing machine, like things are really speeding up, because we are faced with some of the deepest beats of karmic cycles and karmic patterns and the deep-seated trauma that we haven't even, we weren't aware that were still there, but they have to be revealed. So my invitation for you is to not resist it, and to take massive care of yourself during this period of time, because it's going to be turbulent. It's meant to be, right? I just want to clarify it for you that if I say, oh, things are going to get easier, it doesn't mean that we just wait around and, the sun will come and shine and everything will be fine. We are still going to go through the storm. But it is our job to go through it mindfully, to go through it and take the lessons, to go through it and, take care of ourselves, take care of our bodies, and just really be more in sync with the divine, be more in tune with the divine. I believe that one of the biggest lessons that we can also take out of these, healing cycles is, how do we show up? What is our connection with the divine? And it's interesting because that was not the main course of conversation that I wanted to take today, but let's just deviate a little bit, because I really want to leave this out there. What is our relationship with the divine? Yes, a lot of us, advanced souls, old souls, star seeds, we have been through major trauma. Okay, whether it is externally or internally, everything that feels like a split from ourselves, everything that feels threatening to our existence is a trauma. And those moments, they really put us on a path. They define a path for us in life. And so some of them are actually just very hidden, and some of them are actually just very existential. For example, as I shared in the community tab, lately it has, through just a series of events, I was brought back to just really the very early years where I remember just feeling deeply unwanted. And you know that this is really our primary caregivers are the ones who give us the imprinting, the emotional imprinting of how we feel about ourselves. So the feedback from our family, it is very, especially our mothers, is very, very, very important, because we internalize that as deep core beliefs about ourselves. So the father mostly give us the support, right? So if your father was not there or emotionally unavailable, then it kind of leaves you feeling without support, right? And kind of abandoned. And then if your mother is just unable to give that unconditional love, then you feel deeply rejected, deeply unwanted. And there's just a lot of dynamics going on in there as well. But what I want to share is that because of all the struggles that they were going through in their personal life, well, having a kid was not really a priority. And as we know, we are really one of the first generations that we are starting to really look at human beings as more spiritually evolved humans, right? That are attuned to their environment, that absorb the energies around. And so children are actually highly intuitive, highly empathic. They can pick up on just any conversation that is happening around them. So obviously, if your parents discuss next to you and just say that, well, it's just what are we gonna do with the kid now? Well, it's like you kind of want to celebrate coming down here, and all of a sudden it's just like, where's the party, you know? And that only got worse, because I remember just feeling like a burden, because I really was made feel like a burden. And it's just like then obviously as an empath, you kind of start taking on everyone else's problems, and your own or your feelings just become unimportant. So you start sacrificing who you are to, feel less of a burden. So if your parents tell you that, oh, you gotta be more like this because we need you to be on your feet, or just forget about your dreams. They're not gonna pay you the bills, or stop. Personally, I've almost never had time to play, and it's like it's for me, having this connection with my inner child and my soul right now, it is hugely important, because I never got to experience that, and it's never gonna go away again. It's just there were times where, yes, we had to, but what I want to share today, and it's highly, highly important that we know and we understand that, is, yes, your old identity, who you had to be during the karmic cycles, it's an identity that helped you go through the trauma, helped you go through the cycles, okay? But it's not, right now we need to make different choices. We are really at choice point where, yes, we may be faced with difficult experiences where we where we are faced, where we re-experience the trauma. This is what life is trying to do right now, is put us into situations where we're going to feel and actually feel those very raw and deep core wounds. Because what happened is that we did not feel them. We have internalized them. We have created mental conditions to help us go through, but our bodies and our emotional system was not developed enough for us to be able to for us to be able to just handle it, because it's very, very, very intense. And so right now, this is why it may feel very, very turbulent. This is why it may feel like a very intense period of time, especially, as I say, until the spring season, is because we're really accelerating towards Ascension and towards the Earth split. And these choice points, we are going to have to choose our soul. We're going to have to choose ourselves. And I want to really see these as a gift. I know they are very tough. I know they're very intense, and they're really going to put you on your knees and back to moments that are just very, very raw. And that is because the suffering of your inner child was never acknowledged. So you will need to, you can no longer escape how you truly feel. And that's something that I shared in the energy check-in on Friday. We can no longer escape how we really feel. So if your whole life you were playing a role to please someone, or because you have made an unconscious deal, let's just say, with your parents to, I don't know, just kind of become a certain way because you had to, or because the world did not accept you, or, you know, all these very deep existential core wounds that we go through as starseeds, and that just the most 3D people cannot understand, is just, for example, how vital creativity and expressing ourselves is, or how important freedom is in our lives, or just how much love we carry in our souls, and why it's like, oh, it's never enough. Well, it's not, because we're just different fabric. We are just different texture. So it's like there are traumas that that we cannot really heal on like traditional therapy, because it goes way deeper than just functioning in the world. It goes in the fifth dimension, right? It's like, well, we never fit in here, and we don't want to fit in here because that's not why we came here. So it's about ascension, right? And so this is where what I was starting to share, where our relationship with the divine comes in, because as I may have shared in the past, I believe I did, I used to be a professional victim. And I mean, I get it. Yes, I've been through a lot. And I used to just, blame spirit for everything. And kind of over the years, I kind of started creating even though my faith has always been there, it's just the way I was showing up for the divine was just, come on, universe, what now? And so I want to change. Like right now, I'm in the process of changing that from, being kind of like just outgrowing this almost like spoiled teenager. It's like that's how Joe Dispenza says. He was sharing about waking up at 3 a.m. and meditating and really showing up for the divine, and not just like kind of half-assing things. I believe that's where we're really challenged. It's okay, not just enduring this process of healing, but kind of like making it a ritual, making it a blessing, making it a gift. We get to heal, we get to free ourselves from the very things that kept us stuck for so long. How freaking amazing is that? Truly. And just kind of want to like I got teary eyes, but I can't cry anymore because I've been really having some sessions of healing these past weekends. So I feel like I'm dried out, but I want to really let you know that we got to reinvent ourselves. We got to reinvent from the ones that, getting chills all over my body right now, from the ones that you were just enduring life because it was just too tough, and how do we cope with life and addiction and numbing and all that kind of stuff, and really stepping into the warrior light worker mission, and just knowing why the divine God itself chose you to be here today. And what an honor this is, really. And I know it may be hard while you're in the midst of, the injustice, and while you are feeling all the things that you're feeling, because I get it. It's not easy to transmute these heavy, dense energies, and it's not easy to having to forgive people that, it's just really hard. It's just it takes a brave heart to really go through these process, and we are leading others to doing the same, and it's ultimately leading us to heaven on earth, because heaven on earth is really how we used to experience life at some point. That joy, that raw joy that did not come from meeting a milestone or getting a promotion or whatever, or just buying whatever superficial thing that makes you kind of like happy for 5 minutes and then you're just miserable again. No, that is depression. That is like trying to create a fake life around your unresolved traumas, and that's what we've all been doing, right? Because we were never shown the path of healing. We were never shown the path back to ourselves. All the Matrix is doing is separating you more and more and more from who you truly are, until you reach a point where you're just like, is this all there is? And that's when you start really doing the work. So yeah, today's message was really about letting you know that as part of this community, as part of the amazing builders of the new earth, we are all in this together. And some of us may just be a little bit further ahead on the journey. We act as guides for each other. We're here to lend hands. We're here to support each other. But it doesn't mean that we don't understand you. It doesn't mean that we did not go through maybe I want to say externally different experience, but most of us have gone through really the same, just the same deep core wounds, I want to say, of feeling, just not feeling seen, not feeling loved for who we are, and having to change and having to just lead a life of hiding ourselves and in survival and in fear, because we never felt safe, and just living as a highly sensitive on a realm that has some pretty harsh energies. It's what is really like the underlying problem, right? You have your own version of it, I have my own version of it, and everybody else listening have, we all have our own personal chosen by our soul flavor. And now you may be asking yourself, why on earth did I want to do that? I get it. And I think we have been warned, but we guess we just really wanted to do the whole package of Ascension, and to be able to ultimately experience just freedom. And this is where we are. I also want to say that really, the depth of the ocean right now, but really it's everything that we've worked so far has strengthened us for these moments. And right now we're just really wrapping up this season of healing, of awakening, of trials, and we are starting a new journey, a new process of creation, of building, of freedom. Again, it's just really the freedom to be who we truly are out into the world. And as we develop that freedom, we are going to create structures and foundations that are going to help the next generations be who they truly are, without having to go through the matrix, or to go through the hardships that we have been through. So just want to acknowledge how amazingly brave you are deep down. I know many of us have maybe shut down that beautiful, generous part of our soul, because we have as empaths, we may have given too much, we have been taken advantage of, we have been hurt, and it's that part of us who opened their hearts to the world is just very, very raw. That part of us who just had open arms and wanted to experience this life with an open heart, we gotta ease into taking baby steps back to trusting again, and finding safe places and safe spaces where we can do that. And it is really through these new earth communities that we are going to heal. And yeah, this is one last thing that just came through right now. I wasn't aware of it, but that's very interesting that I'm hearing it right now, is that the cycle where we were healing on our own is completing. Okay, this is really the last bits of it right now. We can heal on our own, and we can also heal through experiences. So you can have experiences that are healing, meaning there are just some parts of us that no matter how much we try to shed tears and journal, we will never heal deeply if it's not for the help of another person. Again, that could be through healing, that could be through personal relationships, friendships. Personally, meeting my first starseed friends has been just deeply healing, just deeply healing. Well, challenging as well, because in these new connections you will have to really show your soul. You will have to really you can't show up like an ego. You can't show up the way you used to interact with the 3D people wearing a mask. It's like you gotta bring yourself into the equation. But it's ultimately, it really creates that evidence and that feedback from another person where they can really see into you and they can validate you, and that cannot happen if it's not through like real life healing. So yes, we have healed enough in isolation. We have healed so much in our corners on our own, and gosh, were we brave and strong and resilient to do that. And now we are truly coming together to just really encourage each other to share our gifts, spread our wisdom, and build together, build relationships, build foundations, build projects, build build a new earth ultimately. And it's just, yeah, it's all the fun, has just begun. But again, I say we gotta come from a healed place, because if we're carrying those old deep traumas and old deep stories about ourselves and about the world, they're just not going to serve us, and we're not going to have that experience that we came here to have. And again, the new earth is not a place we just travel to with all our old baggages from the past. It's a frequency, it's a vibrational bandwidth that you align with, and it's an internal experience first of all, that you then get to share, and that you then get to express and put out into the world. And through that expression, or through that engagement with the world from this frequency, we get to create more of it, and it just amplifies. And that is how we create the new earth. And we do that through art, we do that through projects, we do that through sharing these bits of information, we do that through podcasts, we do that through tarot, we do that through healing, we do that through connecting with each other and sharing heart to heart, soul to soul. And it's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. And again, I want to say, we gotta start seeing ourselves for the new earth builders that we are, and we gotta start taking daily actions towards that. So look at the ways in which you have been showing up for life, for yourself, like bitching about life. And again, I get it, I don't want to invalidate your experiences. As I said, we're all really going through some of the most very intense healing journeys right now, but it's also an invitation to do things differently. It's an invitation to maybe start looking at this healing journey as not something that just has to end and just waiting for it and being all bitchy about it all along, but starting to see the gift in it, and starting to really see it as a choice, this whole experience of life as a choice. And because it's really going to start to feel much more like a creation than, putting up with it. So, but it's an active decision. It's an active new belief system that we are wiring in, and the moment is right now, because we are really at that point of transition. We are literally in the new earth right now. We're literally in the age of Aquarius. We are really in the pivot moment, the most pivotal moment, where we gotta shift things. We don't just wait for the planetary energy changes, but we do that actively every single day. And what's amazing is that today I did not know I was going to have this insight, and tomorrow it's a new day for creation. It's a new day for experiencing life. And it sounds very simplistic, but so far we have been on a loop of experiencing the same karmic stuff over and over again, which have felt like this really not enjoyable, right? Well, life is a very different experience right now. Just everything about it will be different, and it starts with really starting to see life this way. Right, dear ones, my hand is just freezing right now, so I will leave it there. Do let me know in the comments below. We are almost half an hour, actually over half an hour. Do let me know in the comments below what was your biggest insight. I'm very, very grateful for you listening, taking the time to listen to this podcast, and I'm sending you so much love. If you feel if you need help, reach out for a healing session, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Take care and bye for now.